Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm Vidya and it's Q&A time. So I asked you guys to give me some questions to answer a few videos ago, and you guys have given me a lot of questions. Thank you so much for that. And if you've missed out on asking a question, you can always leave it in the comments down below, or any of my other videos for that matter. The beauty of a channel this size is I get to answer each and every one of your comments with more than just a yes or a no or a thank you, right? So whenever you guys leave me a comment, I take a few minutes to actually, give you an answer that I would if I was, talking to you personally. So I love this interaction, and thank you again so much for all of your feedback and input towards this channel. So this video is going to be a little long because I don't have any notes. I just have a list of all of your questions, and there was this questions in two categories. I saw that the first kind was all about motherhood and parenting, and you want to get some doubts answered, and the other sort of category was questions relating to me and what I'm all about. So I'll tackle the motherhood related questions first because we want quick answers to our doubts and stuff. So this video might be a little long, and I have my cup of tea with me, so bear with me if I ramble a little bit. So getting straight to it, the first question is from Selena Marty, and a couple of others have also asked similar questions, so I'm clubbing them together. So she wants to know about sleep training and what I've done. And Shimona, Bhumika and Khadija also want to know the schedule for my baby and what my baby's routine looks like every day. So we haven't done any kind of sleep training. I have considered it multiple times because Vikrant does wake up a few times every night, and it does get a little exhausting for us. And I have considered the cry it out method, but I've never gone through with it. I somehow always bail whenever he starts crying. We just go pick him up. So no sleep training. And as far as routine goes, most of what we do with Vikrant is baby led or child led. He's no longer a baby, but so everything related to sleep, like when he wants to go to sleep, when he wants to wake up, how much he wants to eat, what he wants to play with, what books he chooses. So I give him a variety of choice, but he chooses on his own. So his routine is more led by him, and it varies day to day depending on what he is going through, what he is like in terms of health. Like if he's sick, his routine is a little disturbed. If he's in a happy mood, energetic mood, he stays up longer and plays more. So it really varies a lot. There is a certain flow to it, like we have fallen into a rhythm now that he is 21 months old, but it's still not set in stone. And the next question is about potty training. Akanksha call. We haven't started potty training, although he knows the concept of going to the potty. He doesn't he's not showing much interest in going and doing his thing on the potty itself. He just sits on it for fun, and I'll get around to it eventually, but not in the immediate future. So Ruchi Jain asks, which feeding bottle and diapers are the best for newborns? So for feeding bottles, I use this brand called Comotomo. I'll put the link in the description box, and I'll see if I can find it. So this is the one we were using for Vikrant early on. So we only bottle fed him for the first maybe 6 months. That too not exclusively. I used to pump once in a while. But this is the one that worked best for us. So this it's completely silicone, so it's this soft material, and the nipple is quite wide, and I think it's comfortable for the baby to latch on when the baby is also being breastfed. So this is one thing I recommend. And I also use the Philips Avent bottle that came along with the manual pump that I used once in a while again. That one was also good because all I had to do was pump directly into the bottle and just feed him with that. There was no additional pouring and storing of milk. So that is another bottle that I recommend. As far as diapers go, I used Pampers in the very beginning. They were very useful because one, they are absorbent, and two, they have that little indicator that tells you when the baby has wet the diaper. That comes in very handy in the first few days of a newborn, because the doctor wants to know how many times he is going number 1 or number 2. So it becomes hard to track if the diaper just keeps getting full. So that line was a very helpful thing for us. Once once he outgrew that phase of you know, that newborn frequently changing diapers phase, we switched to Bambo Nature. I think that's only available online. I haven't seen it in stores. I buy it on Amazon, and that is really good. It's very soft for him and very absorbent, so that would be my ideal diaper. And for diapers in India, like when we were in India, we used the Pampers Premium Care pants. Those were really good as well. They are these pull-up pants, and they also have that little indicator, and they're also very soft and very absorbent. So I haven't tried a lot of brands, but these are the ones that are working for me. And I also sometimes use 7th Generation here in the US. That is also a really good brand. And then once in a while we use cloth diapers, and for that I use the, what's that called, the Bumpkins all-in-ones, and the Bumpkins the folding type diapers that you get. I don't remember the name, but once in a while we use cloth diapers, not a lot. And yeah, those are my diapers recommendations. Priya asks, what is the skincare routine, nighttime skincare routine for baby? She wants me to make a video on that, which will be tough because Vikrant is usually very aware when the camera is out, and nighttime is usually when we are trying to wind him down, and if I bring the camera out, he is going to go crazy. But nighttime routine is, skincare routine is pretty simple. We give him a bath, and after, when he's still wet, I put a few drops of oil, either almond or coconut oil, and I just spread it all over his body. It spreads easily when he's still wet from the bath, and then just dab him dry, and that's it. Put on pajamas and just do a little bit of story time, drink some milk, and go to bed. Losing weight after pregnancy is something that a lot of you have been asking me. Kanaka, Durga, Alisha, Yoga, Lakshmi, Sirisha. I am not an expert in this area, as you can probably already tell. I haven't lost all of my pregnancy weight, but it wasn't high on my priorities for all of these months because I was breastfeeding and I didn't want to compromise on that. So I didn't really think much about it, but now the weight is definitely weighing me down, and I'm feeling a little bit not so fit. So I do want to get on it and, you know, get a little bit more healthy. And Yoga Lakshmi also wants to know what foods I have tried for lactation and my baby's picture. So the lactation video is already up on my channel, like foods to increase breast milk production. I'll make a detailed video on like the basics of breastfeeding and what I wish I had known before I had the baby. And she wants my baby's picture. I will share it with you later on. Ankita Gupta asks, since you're from India, I want to know, do you believe in the myths and superstitions that widely prevail in India? Like you shouldn't buy anything before the baby comes, and you know, how safe is it to use your cell phone when you're pregnant? So I do not believe in these myths. I think they were relevant maybe in the last century, but not anymore. And luckily my family also does not believe in these myths. And also in olden days you had a lot of support, like even if you needed something after the baby is born, you have lots of people around to go get it for you. But in today's age of nuclear families and just the couple trying to, you know, manage everything with the newborn, it's not that easy to do. So I bought everything. I had everything set up before Vikrant decided to come. So yeah, I do not believe in those. And as far as cell phone use during pregnancy is concerned, I am guilty of that. And I am constantly reading something or looking at some videos. So I have been told off by my parents multiple times. Like even when I was pregnant I used to use it, and even after Vikrant was born. So I'm hoping there's no adverse effects of being on the Wi-Fi. Of course, I know that talking on the phone for hours emits radiation, and that is not good for your brain, but I don't know if using the Wi-Fi is that harmful. I haven't been able to find any solid research on that, but I'm sure it's not great for the baby, but I don't know. It's something that I haven't been able to stop doing. It's my only connection to the world, right? I'm sure you'll understand. So it's the only time I get to send pictures of the baby or read something, or I have some problem and I want to get that, I want to research more on that. So getting rid of the cell phone has not been easy for me. I hope that answers your question. So Tulika has a few questions, and about jaundice in babies and what we can do in pregnancy to avoid this. So jaundice is pretty common, and I think Asians are more prone to getting jaundice. That's what I was told in the hospital. Vikrant had it too, and I really don't think we can do anything to avoid jaundice for newborns. It's just extra bilirubin that is being secreted, and it needs to break down. So Vikrant was also put in the incubator for 2 days, and he came out fine after that, and the doctor suggested keeping him in sunlight for a few, like 15 to 20 minutes, indirect sunlight every day, and that the sunlight helps in breaking down the excess bilirubin. She also wants to know that since it is summer, is it okay to skip walking sometimes? Like, she's doing yoga regularly, but it's too hot and I'm too tired after office to go for a walk, and is that reducing my chances of a normal delivery? So while walking is good for having a normal delivery, because it puts gravity, right? So the baby can fall easily into the birth canal and things go smoothly. So walking is very beneficial. So if you can sneak in even a short walk, even if it is inside your house, that is really good. But if you don't feel like walking at all, just remain active during your pregnancy. That is most important. So your body is nice and flexible, and your muscles are flexible in order to give birth easily. Shruti asks along the same lines, what is the perfect time to do exercise and how many squats can be done every day? This is, again, it depends on you. I'm sure there are experts who can give you better answers. But for me, it was any time that I was feeling energetic and not weak or tired. So it would usually be in the afternoons for me, afternoons or evenings, and I would make sure that my stomach is not too full or too empty. So 1.5 to 2 hours after a meal I would avoid doing exercise, and after that I could do. And I also avoided doing exercise first thing in the morning, like when I wake up, because my body is already running low on energy. So just stomach not too full, not too empty, and if you're feeling up for it, just do it. And I promise you'll feel much better after doing the yoga or exercise that you, anything that you do. Priyanka wants to know, how do you breastfeed when you're outside? That is a little hard, especially if you're in a place like India where it is so crowded. It's hard to step away. A lot of places have nursing rooms or lactation rooms that are quite private, so I made full use of those. And sometimes I used to pump a bottle and take it with me, so breast milk stays good for a couple of hours at least at room temperature. So that came in handy. Otherwise, if I was going for a longer period of time, like I was traveling when Vikrant was very little, and we had a pretty long flight, so I was nursing all throughout the flight, and I used a big blanket or a scarf as a cover up. You also get nursing covers that are really good. They're basically like a t-shirt that you just put over your head, and the baby can sleep, lay down comfortably on your lap. And I also took my nursing pillow with me everywhere. Like, that was the one thing that I couldn't live without when I was breastfeeding. So yeah, those were the things that I did. Ekta asks, how do you collect Vikrant's photos and videos? I mean, how do you manage to keep his memories safe for a long time? albums, hard disk, pen drive, what do you do? This is a very important question because we take so many pictures of our baby, like so many pictures and videos, and there are so many milestones that I was losing track of it all the time, and my phone was constantly full. So I recently came up with a method that is working for me, like the way I transfer everything on my computer and sort everything. So I will share that with you guys, but that has been helping me out. And Aarti wants to know whether we should give honey to a newborn. I'm not aware of this. I don't think you're supposed to give honey to babies less than 12 months because honey can have very harmful bacteria, and the babies that young don't have the immunity to fight that. So before 12 months, I don't think honey is recommended. So Nandini has a 7-month-old and wants to know if kids this young can have some screen time or not. So screen time is a constant battle for us now that Vikrant is getting slightly older and knows the concept of television. But less than 12 months of age, I was quite strict about having little or no screen time. The only time we would let him watch something was when we had to give him medicine, or if I had to step away for a few minutes, but that was it. For entertainment, he is slowly getting into it now, but at 7 months I would try to avoid it a little bit more. We cannot avoid it forever, but as much as we can. And even when Vikrant is watching TV, it's not any random thing that he watches, because I really don't like all those cartoons. They have too much going on, too many lights and colors. So he watches a few videos that have my approval, and he luckily enjoys them. I might make a video or maybe a Facebook post of the videos that I like for babies. And Parmeet asks, I'm quite confused as to how contractions feel like. I mean, how do you recognize the real contractions, and how would I know when it's time to go to the hospital? So I use this handy app called the Contraction Timer. You have a few of those free of cost, and that keeps a track of your contractions. So my doctor had told me when the contractions are 4 minutes apart and they're lasting 1 minute long, then I should, go to the hospital. But it depends on how far you live away from the hospital, right? If you live quite far, I would start a little bit early. So yeah, real contractions versus Braxton Hicks. For me, Braxton Hicks felt like a pressure all over the belly, like towards the top of my belly to the middle, and the pressure would go away on its own. And when I asked my doctor how to distinguish between the two, she said the best way to do it is drink a glass of water and change your position, like walk around or do something else. If the contractions go away with that, that means it's Braxton Hicks, because real contractions will not go away no matter what you do, and they will keep getting stronger and closer together. Sneha wants to know when I can start pumping so that the baby can have breast milk when I'm not around, and when to introduce bottles. So I started pumping straight away when Vikrant was born. One, to keep my supply up, and secondly to get a break once in a while and someone else could feed him. So I think you can start pumping straight away as long as your baby is latching on well and breastfeeding well as well. You can do both together. So Manisha, Singh and Khadija want to know about books and reading for babies. A lot of you have asked me this question in some of my other videos, and books for babies and reading is one of my favorite topics. Like, I am a book lover, so I get very excited about baby books and things like that. So I will make a video very soon about reading for babies, and I have a lot to say on that subject, so stay tuned for that. Deeksha Sharma wants to know how often do you keep your baby in diapers after he was born, and any DIY for diaper rash creams. So my baby was mostly in diapers. Even now he is in diapers. And DIY for diaper rash creams, I don't have a DIY, but I do use coconut oil a lot. Like, if the rash is mild and if it's just a little bit of redness, I put some coconut oil on it, and it clears it right up. It's really good for skin. Smita wants to know, Vidya, please help me out. My baby's teeth are coming. What should I do? Oh God, teething is like this never-ending phase that goes on in the first 1 year, even longer. And there's not much that we can do about it. Poor things, right? They're getting these new parts of their body growing, and it's a huge change for them. They are cranky and they're crying. They put everything in their mouths. So the one thing we can do is be more hygienic, like wipe everything, wash all their toys and blankets more frequently so they don't end up with infections. That is what is in our hands. You can also try some teethers and things like that that are available on the market. So I was sent this teething necklace by a company called Baltic Amber or Baltic Amber. So apparently this has succinic acid, which when it touches the skin, it helps the baby. It reduces the pain during teething. So I haven't tried it out because Vikrant is, I think he's getting his molars, but he's not that uncomfortable. So I might give this a try. Let me know if you would like to see a review of these. These are available on Amazon. But yeah, they had good reviews on Amazon, so I might give it a try. But some of things like these are also available. You also get teething gels that numb the pain a little. The doctor will recommend those, so talk to your doctor about that if it is very uncomfortable to the baby and it's paining a lot. Or there are also some painkillers like ibuprofen that the doctors sometimes recommend. We didn't use any of these things. We kind of just went with the flow, and teething always subsides in a few days. The pain always subsides and you get to see a new little tooth come out. So I think this video is getting pretty long, so I'll make a part 2 and answer all of the questions related to me and what I am all about in that video, so stay tuned for that.